the bowlers will have to make sure that they're very precise, very accurate with their lines, their lengths. Batsmen, they will take an advantage. We've seen batting friendly surfaces here and even covering of grass. With a little bit of rain, with the dew, the ball will come onto the bat nicely. The other thing before I go, it will race across the outfield. So run scoring will be easy, more pressure on the bowlers, and it is a lottery. Either team could come out on top in this affair.
Yeah, thank you, Darren. It's going to be fascinating to see what the tactics are from the teams, and contrasting fortunes, of course, for these two teams. The Kings, the Colombo Kings, got up with that super over in day number 1, and of course the Galle Gladiators, they went down yesterday, so they're looking to bounce back in style today, and this is going to be tough in this situation.
It would be, but on the other hand, there's nothing much to chink. They're just going to have to play
the
their
Kings,
shots, and that's the type of players they'll have. And if it comes off, the confidence that they need for the rest of the tournament will come in for those batsmen.
He's going to be key. Shahid Afridi, he is going to be key, and he's in form. He played superbly the other night. He was hitting the ball well.
Gee, he changed the game, didn't he? Because the Gladiators were going nowhere, and his 58 of 23 gave them something to bowl at. Unfortunately, the bowling didn't hold up, but that's the way to do it. And if he can do that, the others will follow.
That's a shot from our drone. So you can see the blue covers around the place. I can't stress this enough for some of our viewers around the world watching this telecast. That whole area was covered in blue, Russ, and you've seen it before many times. They don't mess around like other parts of the world where they just literally just cover the pitch area. The whole playing field was covered in blue, so it was really good work from the ground staff. There's a look at the revised playing conditions, and it's reduced to 5
the
overs
whole
playing side. There's 2 overs of power play, so 2 bowlers can bowl a maximum of 2 overs, and 1 bowler can obviously bowl the maximum of 1 over after that. So the captain is going to be in the gun, and he's got some thinking to do out there, because I mean, it's going to be one of those situations where there's not going to be too much time to breathe really as a captain.
Won't be, but since only 3, he can get away with using 3 bowlers. He can use his 3 best bowlers. So in that sense, there is some breathing space for the captain.
Is it a situation where you've got to fall back on some experienced guys? I mean, someone like an Afridi, is he going to be such a key man because he's been there before in this sort of situation many times?
He'll have to put his hand up for sure. Mohamed Amir is another for the Gladiators, and Angelo Matthews, he's got to stick with the Russells and these Rudanas to bank on. You've got to go to them early.
Speaking of Russell, what do you do with him? Do you open the batting with Andre Russell?
I couldn't hear you.
Andre Russell, do you open the batting with Andre Russell? What do you do with him?
That's a good one. That's a really good question, but I'll go at 3 with him just in case.
Even though it's 5 overs?
Even though it's 5 overs, because of the fact that it's a new ball, I'll just give him some breathing space.
Okay. Now, how important is it now for the Gladiators? I mean, let's say they happen to go down today in this sort of game.
That'll put them back. They have to pick up. But let's see. It's not all lost because 6 more games to go.
Okay, righto. We're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, we'll have the toss as well. Is it a situation where you've got to fall back on some
3, he can get away with using 3 bowlers. He can use his 3.
Now, welcome back. Just to let you know that after 3 hours of rain, we have got a game eventually, in case you're just joining in. It's 5 overs aside, so it's going to be helter-skelter out there. And it's going to be a situation where I'm sure both teams are going to want to play well in these conditions, which are going to be a little bit slippery underfoot. And it's going to be a situation also where the batsmen are going to be favoured. There's no doubt about that, because if the ball just travels on this wet outfield, I think there's also going to be problems for some of the bowlers to have a good grip of the ball. Right, just very, very briefly, what is the key to winning this sort of game in your mind?
A very tough question. Things need to go your way.
Yeah.
I guess, as usual, just hold your nerve and believe in what you need to do, because there's no room for too much plans. There's no room to breathe. So you just got to hope for the best. So I'm not really sure what exactly you can say. You got to hope that something comes your way and you're able to grab it.
So who are the real out-and-out match winners in this game?
For the Gladiators, you can't look past Afridi.
Yep.
And Andre Russell for the Kings in such a situation. And I don't agree with the ball running along the ground, because they don't hit it along the ground. You better correct yourself there.
You think it's going to be flying there all over the place? It's not going to be in the ground too much.
Outfield don't matter.
Okay, righto. Okay, we are ready, I think, now to go downstairs for the toss. Let's go down and speak to the captains and find out more from Roshan Abasinghe.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we do have magnificent news. I know you've been waiting for some cricket, and indeed we are having cricket. Now, before I say anything, I must say a big well done to the ground staff. They've done a magnificent job. We did have rain, they worked hard, and we're going to have a 5-over game in the My 11 Circle Lanka Premier League between Galle Gladiators and Colombo Kings. Now, let me first introduce our dignitaries here. Graham Lebroy needs no introduction. He's our match referee. Shahid Afridi, he had a great game the other day. He's here as captain again. It's Galle Gladiators, and our own Angelo Matthews, and from Colombo Kings, of course. And here is Shahid Afridi going to spin the coin. Heads is the call.
Heads.
And it is a tail.
Let me see again.
It is a tail. Well, for a moment I thought it's a head. It's a tail. What are you going to do?
We want to ball first. Yeah, bowling first.
Bowling first.
Yeah.
Angie, what do you think you would have done?
I would have bowled first too.
So you both want to bowl first. What do you think? 5 overs. How tough is it?
It is tough. It is tough, and because the match going to start at 8 o'clock, but it's delay because of the rain. But I think it will be a good entertainment fight over here.
Obviously. Angie, what do you think? You enjoy such short games?
Yeah, we are here to play cricket, so it's an opportunity for us to showcase once again. Whether it's 5 overs or 20 overs, so glad that we got, because the ground staff was brilliant today.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your team.
Yeah, we got one change. Manfred is not playing, Ben Drummond is playing.
And you?
We made 2 changes, yeah.
All right. You don't like to tell us?
I don't know the second name, but the first name is the Avani guy, he's playing.
All right.
And Walton, he's resting.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. All the best, gentlemen. All
Thanks,
the best.
Thanks.
So the news from the center is that the Galle Gladiators, they won the toss, and they're very happy to bowl.
Thank you. First blood to them. Righto, that's a no-brainer, isn't it? Win the toss and look to bowl first, chase down the 5.
Yes. You got to know what you're chasing, because it's very difficult to set those targets and how you're going to go about it. You just hope that you hit the opposition hard as you start, just to work on those nerves, and then try and take it from there.
Right, now let's just have a bit of a chat about one of the 2 of the key players for the Colombo Kings. I want to start with Angelo Matthews. I mean, in this sort of game, this is really important for him to perform, and it's tailor-made, I guess, to a certain extent.
For himself as well, because there's still a lot more matches. So even not in this context, for him to come to form, and if a captain is in form and he's able to perform, it's so much easier to get the mob to follow you. Otherwise, you're just doing too much talking. It's always better with action. And that's where Afridi in this situation is in a better position after yesterday's knock.
Right. Okay, and he looks like he's enjoying himself and having a bit of fun out there as well. Dinesh Chandimal played really nicely in their previous game.
Gee, I liked the way he batted. It was so easy, so controlled. He knew where to hit it. And that was more like the Dinesh Chandimal, the young Dinesh Chandimal who came onto the scene, where he was very instinctive and was not afraid to play his shots. As responsibility came on to him, he started being very defensive. So now he's broken free from that. But today I think it's a different game because it's very much shorter. He's still a good batsman, though he can play his shots. But it'll be interesting to see how he manages the mindset.
80 off 46 for Janesh Chandimal. Now, we saw Afridi having a chat to the Gladiators. Right now, I'm sure Angelo Matthews and also Herschel Gibbs. I mean, he's pretty laid back. We know Herschel. What will he be saying to his charges?
Let's just do it. Let's just play what comes in front of you. Let's not have too many plans. What's there? Let's take it. Let's do it.
So you don't go into this sort of, well, there's Andre Russell, so he looks like he's moving to the sidelines to maybe get the pads on. There's Afridi. I mean, it's quite extraordinary with the number of cricket that he's played in this format, that his runs per over is 6.71. I mean, that's amazing for Afridi.
Even yesterday, it was very difficult to get away. It's just that last over that he bowled that ran away from him. He's got this difficult style. He bowls wicket to wicket. He's not really a big turner of the ball, but that change of pace, very difficult to pick up. And in our days, I mean, he's been playing for ages because he's played a lot of cricket with me and I've retired 13 years. We used to, at certain times, most times, look to play him as a seamer because that was easier to handle him because of the pace.
We saw that shot, the quick shot also of Andre Russell just running off the park. So there's a clue. He's either going to be opening or batting 3. I'm going opening. You're saying 3. You haven't changed your mind?
No, but it's a no-brainer. Andre Russell has to be involved. He can't put his heels up. He's got to be ready.
Yep. Okay. Righto. So we are got some really good news here. We have got a game underway and we have had the toss. And the news is that Afridi has won the toss. And they are going to bowl first, the Galle Gladiators. There's a look at the Colombo Kings. Russ, just run us through that lineup.
Yeah, Chandimal and Evans, they opened the other day, so they stay at the top. I'm sure that would change. Drummond has been included. There's Tixile De Silva, Andre Russell, Angelo Matthews. So all of those players are really going to move up that order. Isara Udana as well. He can be a match winner. So don't be surprised if he bats at 3 or 4. Down with the bowlers, there's Amil Oponso, Dushmantha Chamira, who looked good, who got it through briskly. And I like the look and the attitude of Qais Ahmed.
We've got to say well done to the attitude of Udana the other day because he was terrific in the Super Over and also just before that. You know, if you look at the Galle Gladiators as well, there's a couple of guys there I'm sure you want to highlight and talk about. We've talked about Afridi, obviously. Gunatilaka,
Azam Khan, they're both good hitters, so they'll be at the top of the order. Afridi is there, Jai Surya, so they're the ones who are going to have to move up to take control. Coming to the bowling, Mohammad Amir and Afridi, look to them to bowl, do the bulk of the bowling. He'll have to find an over from somewhere else.
And Mohammad Amir, again, senior pro, he's going to have to step up.
Of course, no doubt about it. He did bowl his heart out yesterday, but to no avail. But you don't write off players like that. They haven't been, I mean, that's a very good reason that they've been around for so long and have been doing so well for so long.
Righto. Okay, Russ, thanks very much for your views. We'll hear you briefly tonight in the commentary box as well. Righto. So we are not too far away now from this game. It is going to be fascinating to watch. It is going to be action-packed. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to join our commentators.
Second match of this doubleheader on the Super Saturday gets going quite late. If you're in Sri Lanka, we hope that you're locked on for the entertainment. It's the Galle Gladiators up against the Colombo Kings. Earlier at the toss, Shahid Afridi winning the toss and electing to bowl first. Good decision by him. He wants to see what's the target. And it's a 5-over affair. Colombo Kings making one change to their team. Daniel Bell-Drummond in the side for Manpreet Goni. Bell-Drummond, an international from the UK. And they'll be hoping to back up their win. Galle Gladiators, on the other hand, making two changes. Dhananjaya Lakshan in, the right-handed medium pacer, and Zazai, the Afghanistan international, in the side for this 5-over affair. Well, I mentioned it's a 5-over affair, and that's because we've had a lot of rain between matches. 5 overs per side. Two bowlers can bowl a maximum of 2 overs. One bowler can bowl a maximum of 1. Not a lot to think about there for the captains. The focus will be on the batting and also keeping the ball dry. Evening to Amir Sohail. Roshan Abasinghe. What can we expect?
Evening. Roshan, Darren, and good evening to all.
Good evening, Amir.
I think it's going to be fireworks, 5 overs. And if you look at both the teams, they have powerhouses in their lineup. Azam Khan, Zazai, and Gladiators. And then when you talk about Colombo Kings, they've got plenty. Their captain is a very dangerous player. In the previous game, we saw the wicketkeeper batsman playing so well. So, exciting times ahead.
See, what I like about this is, I mean, at the toss, I mean, when you looked at the body language of the captains, I mean, they might be saying something, but it could be completely different with the body language. But both of them were very, very eager to play. So this is excellent. I mean, it could be 5 overs. You know that it's a tough call. It's a lottery. I mean, it's not fair. But I like the spirit. I like the fact that they're on the park. They're willing to go. We spoke about the ground staff. And I think we need to just emphasize on the fact of rain. The covers were almost inundated with water, and ground staff have.
And the curator, because the pitches he's been producing, they're ideal for T20 cricket. And you mentioned about the captains, how keen they are to get out and play this game. They know quick game is a good game.
Well, we've had 3 hours of rain, and you mentioned, Roshan, how good the ground staff has been here. They've been able to cover the pitch, secure the surface. The pitch looks in very good condition. Yes, there's a bit of dew. There's a little bit of that spillover from the rain. But we're having cricket, and I think this will produce a very entertaining affair. T20 cricket at its very best.
Well, as we know that Gladiators have already lost. Colombo Kings have won. So it will be very interesting if the Gladiators can overcome the Colombo Kings. The points table will just open up.
Yeah, they were off the boil in the previous game. So many mistakes were committed by Galle Gladiators. They're out here to redeem themselves, but it's not going to be easy. Andre Russell. Oh, he's a dynamite. He can destroy any bowling attack in the world on his day.
Darren, perfect setup. Perfect setup. Tixila De Silva can hit the long ball. Andre Russell, Amir just said, and up against very good bowling. And I'm hoping that we'll have some sixers and fours raining from both sides to just try and make it so entertaining.
Haven't you had enough of rain, mate?
Mohamed Amir, always potent with the new ball, so it's not going to be a walk in the park for this batting pair as we count down for some royal entertainment. If you just joined us, it's a 5-over affair. The umpires, Rohita Kotachi and Pragit Rambukwella. Bit of seam movement, you will get that lateral movement. We spoke about the moisture, the rain on the surface.
That one skidded. Hurried the batsman. And Mohamed Amir really bending his back on that occasion. That's what you expect from him. Employs experience.
Some swing, good work by the wicketkeeper. Azam Khan diving away.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Azam Khan, my goodness.
What do you expect? He's Moin Khan's son.
I know, but he's not Moin Khan. Outstanding. I mean, look, with due respect, looking at his structure, I mean, the way he moved so quickly and got across, it was brilliant.
Tucked away. Andre Russell gets going very early in this game.
Oh, he wrenched it, didn't he? He hit the ball with all the disdain and contempt in the world. Wow. Flatter than flat, that six was.
Flat battered, it hardly went off the ground. I mean, it didn't go high. It really didn't go high. Normally, it would be very high and over the ground. It's so flat. Very nearly hit those boundary boards. But good start, very good start. It's a 6. So already 7 runs of 2 balls.
Well, although it's a 5-over affair, we hope that you've gone onto your My11 Circle app and picked your favorite players, your fantasy team. Andre Russell should be in that squad. Giving himself room. Another boundary. This is Russell's style of batting in T20s.
Took a lot of pace on the ball. He was looking to bowl the change up. It's just that Russell anticipated it very well. He just opened that front foot, waited for it, and then with that large gap, the length allowed him to play that shot.
He psyched out the bowler, didn't he? He knew it's going to be a slow delivery. He was ready for it. He was into the position quickly and executed it with authority. He's hot at the moment.
It was a My11 Circle champion shot, I'll tell you. It was such a champion shot because he read it well. The anticipation was good. He was waiting.
Just have a look how he opens up a bit, Andre Russell. That front foot just goes a little bit wider. And he goes again. Bat on ball and it flies all the way for a 6.
If the batsman is given the license to go after the bowler, you have to feel for the bowlers, and especially when Andre Russell is batting.
Well, is his coming events casting shadows? They've got, what, 17 runs of 4 balls? By the looks of it, they might get more than 20 runs. So, well, we are in for some real entertainment.
And it's not Bam Bam stuff. He's watching the ball closely. He's getting into good positions very early. And that's why he's been able to execute some breathtaking strokes. Andre Russell.
Gentlemen, spare a thought for the bowlers.
Ball getting wet, flat wicket, and then bowling to Andre Russell. You have to feel for the bowlers.
2 fielders outside the 30-yard circle, a deep mid wicket, a wide third man. Wide signal. Will have to reload.
Nowhere to run. Nowhere to hide.
What was Amir complaining about? He knew it was a wide. I think he tried. He really tried to get in a dot ball.
Maybe he was making a case for himself that since Andre Russell backed away from the stumps, but didn't impress the umpire at all.
3 boundaries for Andre Russell in this first over. Remember, it's a 5 overs per innings affair.
Easy as you like. And it's another My 11 Circle championship.
Did we have rain? Did we ever have rain here? Look at the pace of the outfield. Man, it's just flying. It's just flying off the bat. We were talking about 3 hours of solid rain. But this outfield, it may look a little bit damp, but it is traveling.
And you can understand what Mohammad Amir is trying to do. He's trying to go just within that tram line through the offside so that Russell can't reach the ball. He responds well, just presents the face of the bat and beats the fielder in that sweeper boundary. So that's good cricket all round.
How heavy is the bat? He just guided the ball, didn't he?
22 already from this over. Final delivery. And it goes for 4. How unfortunate.
Most expensive over of the tournament so far. 26 of the over. The first.
हदीस है कि कलौंजी में है हर मर्ज की शिफा. हिमानी ब्लैक सीड ऑयल. Heal with nature.
Well, the hierarchy, the management, they look a little bit shell-shocked. 26 runs in the first over. Asita Fernando, a young, quick, 22 games, 26 wickets. Spoken about his potential, spoken about what is expected of him. Again, we've spoken about how important this tournament is. Another learning curve for him. 5 over game, how do you bowl? What do you do?
Will he learn or will he be scarred? He's only 23 years old, but I guess as a cricketer, the bad experiences strengthens your resolve. Here he is, first delivery. Goes for a wide and add 4.
I think every bad experience is a good teacher. It teaches you, it just makes you better. So I believe that youngsters like Asita are bound to benefit immensely out of this.
This is Russell in the first over. 26 runs coming from it. He's just clearing that front foot to give himself room to access the ball through the onside, through the offside, using the pace.
हिमानी कोकोनट ऑयल, जिसके रोजाना इस्तेमाल से मिले बालों को अंदर से मजबूती और रहे स्ट्रॉन्ग. मेरी फैमिली का खास सीक्रेट.
And most importantly, use the angle. That's very. That's in the air. A lot of confidence.
Melinda Sirivardhana, the catcher, that was a very good catch. It was running away from him. He had to come around.
You spoke about this being a learning experience. This will do a wealth of good for Fernando, getting a wicket in his first over in a pressure situation. Wow, that's excellent. Exactly what the My 11 Circle LPL is meant to do for the young Sri Lankan players. Shella De Silva goes without scoring, 31 for 1. Catch has allowed Andre Russell to get strike as they crossed. Wide. And that's not a bad plan, as I mentioned earlier, to Russell, because he thrives on that bottom hand to tuck the ball to leg. This was a wicket.
Here, take a look at the catch. Sirivardhana had to remember, he had to keep an eye on the boundary line. That's what's difficult. He'll have to make sure that he stays inside the line, keep his eyes on the ball, and he did that perfectly.
And the best thing he did over there, when he caught that one, he kept his balance on the right-hand side. That's why he stayed. Oh, that's a big hit. Another 6.
I thought the plan was to bowl wide. There's a man on the back foot point boundary. See, the mistake Asitha did was going straight and on the pads with mid-wicket open. So we speak about the experience, the learning curve. So these are good moments, good lessons that he could learn.
I've also seen some bowlers go round the wicket and use the angle from round as a right-hander and push the ball across Andre Russell. If you bowl full and wide, it's very difficult for you to find the power as a batsman to clear the ropes. And he goes again. Can he get it right? Streeter, Fuller, beats the fielder. Will be 2. That's good running.
Well, we've spoken about sparing a thought for the bowlers. You bowl a good ball or a bad ball, it's going to disappear. And with a guy like Russell, it could disappear to... You wouldn't know where. It could go off an inside edge, it could fly off the middle of the bat.
Yeah, he's kind of a batsman who doesn't require a bad ball. He turned those good deliveries into bad ones. His scoring options. Another one. Flat batted it. And another my 11 circle. Champion boundary.
This cricket suits you guys, the West. Suits you guys so well.
Even though it's 5 overs, because of the fact that it's a new ball,
You're sure right, Roshan. And that's because of the physical power that you see from guys like Andre Russell. The fact that West Indies team in the T20 format, they have a high percentage of boundaries when they bat.
Roshan, were you complimenting or?
My 11 circle, champion fan of the day on your screen, enjoying the match on his phone. And if you want to be one of them, make your team on My 11 circle and play with the champions, just like Andre Russell.
In the process, he brought
his eyes on the ball, and he did that perfectly.
And the best thing must be heavier. Must be heavier. Because the last stroke bounced within the boundary line. He's not happy about that. He wanted it to go for a 6.
He'll find the fielder. Oh my God! And he fumbles. Well.
Well, it's about minimizing the damage in a 5-over game. Now, had that been 1 run, he would have been so happy. We were complimenting Sirivardhana for the outstanding catch. And look what happens.
Well, that ball was traveling. I think he lost his balance. Overran. Didn't amuse the bowler at all.
It's moments like that adds insult to injury, especially when the opposition batting is dominating. You need your fielders to support the bowlers. Haven't seen that yet from the Galle Gladiators. Goes straight and goes long. 1 bounce into the boundary. Russell on fire. End of the power play overs. It's 52 for 1.
मेरी हर शाम का आगाज होता है हिमानी हर्बल टी से, जिससे मिले रिफ्रेशिंग फील विद नेचुरल प्रोटेक्शन, हील विद नेचर।
scorecard. 52 for 1 in just 2 overs. Remember, it's a 5 over per team affair. Truncated game because of the rains that we've experienced. The signal from the umpire at the end of the power play. Munchikome, a flavored rice cracker to enjoy and enrich yourself. Someone is taking 2 packs home.
Might be his dinner.
We all enjoy a snacking moment.
I
Roshan.
love it. I love it. Munchie is a brilliant brand. Mohammad Shiraz. Well, look. He's quite green as a cricketer. Very, very young. He's seen two illustrious colleagues going for 26 runs in an over. But that's a good start. That is a very good start. Going full and just outside the off stump.
Was a Yorker length and at the same time cramped the batsman who was looking to heave the ball on the onside. That's a good start to the over and under pressure.
Edged away, fortuitous boundary. It's raining boundaries in this innings. Colombo Kings on fire with the bat.
It doesn't matter how it comes, as long as it comes. It could be off the middle of the bat, or it could be an inside edge. All they want in 5 overs is value. Value for their shots.
Things not going the way for the Galle Gladiators bowlers. Just a single. 5 runs from the over so far.
He's unstoppable. Andrew Russell playing that stroke with the full face of the bat, and yet again registering my 11th circle champion stroke.
Does he get it? Does he get it? No, he doesn't. The reason why I was saying that there.
हिमानी का हनी है सेहत के लिए स्पेशल, खालिस तरीन और कुदरती, है ना मजेदार।
We've scored a half century in T20 cricket in just 12 deliveries. It's Ratullah Zaz.
Reason why? He's not a left-hander.
Excellent full delivery, getting it into the block hole, as you want to consistently see from bowlers, especially when you're trying to contain opposition batsmen.
It's been a good over, bringing some semblance.
Impressed with Shiraz, very impressed with him. He's held his nerve and he's looked to bowl that particular area. He's gone full and he's succeeded so far. 7 runs of 5 balls is a brilliant return.
Spoiled. Conceding a boundary. End of the 3rd, it's
WB by Himani Immune Oil. मेरा chest रहे clear और germs free. Immune Oil. Heal with nature.
1.
We hope that many of you are looking on, broadcast partners for the LPL, Sony, ITN, PTV and Jio in Pakistan, K Sports, Sport Max. And the digital partners as well. You can use that platform to join the action. Lots more to come in this contest. Goes high, goes long, gets a good result. Colombo Kings continue to pile on the runs.
Absolutely. Shiraz's last over was good. Just 11 runs. It was a great performance when you consider that there were 26 runs overs, and this is a good start to the over. Colombo Kings looking to make amends for what they lost out in that Shiraz over.
Strike rates quite impressive. Goes again. And another 6. Wow. Good support for Andre Russell.
It's not Muhammad Amir's night. Definitely not. Whatever he has tried, gone to the boundary line. Second successive 6.
44 from 14, this partnership between Evans and Russell. Nails a good Yorker. And if you're wondering why Andre Russell and Laurie Evans are able to get under the ball and to clear the boundary line, that's because they're batting deep in their crease. It's very hard for a bowler to get that Yorker right. That's a full toss. They can get under the ball, free their arms, and we've seen lots of 6s in this innings. 5 6s so far.
And with that, just back of the lane delivery. Mid-wicket. Oh, nicely done. It's not all brawn when it comes to Andre Russell. There are brains as well.
53 of what, 14 balls? 8 4s and 3 6ers, and the strike rate is 378.
5th fastest half century in T20 cricket. No surprises there. Andre Russell holds that position now. Wow, we've seen some great entertaining striking. Partnership of 49.
Muhammad Amir so far has gone for 44 runs. Oh, he's struggling, isn't he? All he could do is smile. Wry smile on his face. I'm trying, nothing is happening. Sorry, Captain.
Look, it's not easy conditions as well for bowlers. Quite wet. I'm sure the ball is a bit slippery. Goes short, not a bad option. You always see Andre Russell set himself for full deliveries, and it's a good change-up. Now as a bowler to go short, get it high, just make him think a little bit more.
Air variations will be very important. And yes, as you said, Russell was quickly moving away because his anticipation, his premeditation was something else. 19 runs, 5 balls. What would be the last ball? 82 of what? 23 deliveries.
You can't ask for anything more than what we've seen so far. Some beautiful ball striking. 4 overs gone, 83 for 1.
हदीस है कि कलौंजी में है हर मर्ज की शिफा। हिमानी ब्लैक सीड ऑयल, हील विद नेचर।
Russell Power 54 from 15. Well, he's flying. And so too we are in the Singa Amir Soil. They're flying with their drink up here. High up, flying with the Red Bull. And we expect to see more. Still Shahid Afridi, I'm sure, will feature with the bat. Gladiators. The ideal drink. I don't think he needs it all the time, because that's the way he bats in T20 cricket.
That's a wide for Afridi. Now, I got a question to you. Now, being a West Indian and being involved with West Indies cricket, what about Russell? I mean, why? I mean, imagine how much the West Indies are missing. This man is a champion in his own right. He could win games day in and day out.
That's why he sought over the entire world in T20 cricket. Nice change of pace from Shahid Afridi. But they become very much proficient to T20 cricket. The likes of Andre Russell, Dwayne Bravo, Karen Pollard.
Question is, why is he not playing for the West Indies? That's
but I
my
don't think
question.
he's fully fit. As mentioned earlier, he had his issue in the IPL, didn't play all the matches for the Kolkata Knight Riders. Quicker delivery. Umpire might just check the height.
हिमानी कोकोनट ऑयल, जिसके रोजाना इस्तेमाल से मिले बालों को अंदर से मजबूती और रहे स्ट्रॉन्ग। मेरी फैमिली का खास सीक्रेट।
Look at his striking from the sheer position.
Well, if you think that he's not fit, and this is what he could do when he's unfit, I shudder to think what he would be when he's fit.
Well, many cricketers don't be 100% fit and they compete. I think he's an all-rounder in his own right. Bat and ball, hasn't been bowling a lot, so that alone is evidence that he is not 100%. And I think from a West Indian perspective, they would like to see all departments of his game.
Watch out. He didn't declined a single. He's got a plan against Shahid Afridi. Watch out. Oh.
It's not boundary, man.
Oh, should have stopped. Should have stopped the boundary. Yes, he was taking his chances to catch that one, but he should have thought about stopping the ball within the boundary as well.
I'm not quite sure that's the right decision, because at this stage you shouldn't be thinking about getting a wicket. It's about containing run scoring. Already 89, and that's what Afridi is so upset about.
Every run matters. As you said, a run or two saved somewhere can help them, can hold them in good stead.
Clipped away, goes over the boundary. Another six for Andre Russell. He's making it look very easy.
That was a gift, wasn't it? A full toss. Oh, that was marginal. Very close to be a no ball.
We've been royally entertained. 10 fours, 6 sixes in the innings. Andre Russell, a half century to his name. One delivery left in the innings. What will it be?
Should be running for two. He's in a royal touch, isn't he? Andre Russell. What entertainment. What entertainment. In 5 overs.
सैनिटाइजर्स का इस्तेमाल जरूरी है। आइए मिलकर अपने इर्द गिर्द के माहौल को महफूज बनाएं। WB by Himani, hygiene and personal care.
Contributed heavily with 65 to the total of 96. Brilliant.
Five overs completed, 96 for 1. That's a really good effort on the part of the Colombo Kings. Yeah. Shahid Afridi, his expression says it all. He will be disappointed with that effort, but you got to give credit to the effort with the bat. Colombo Kings.
lesson for the coaches. When you're up against Andre Russell, your bowlers should not have one plan. C as well, D as well. If you don't, he's going to make you pay. What an innings from...
There he goes. Looks like he hasn't really broken a sweat, Roshan.
Dre Russ. And take a look at the batting card. I think the Gladiators did slightly better. They were going at 26 runs. They brought the average down to just under 20. But still, it's a daunting task. 96 for 1, 5 overs.
Yeah, you talked about he didn't even break a sweat. Well, if you don't understand the meaning of walk in the park, and that was walk in the park for Andre Russell, he made every bowler pay. Mohammad Ahmed was the main sufferer, going for 46 in just 2 overs.
So the target, 97, will be required from just 30 deliveries. Only time will tell whether the Galle Gladiators can get this one.
मेरी हर शाम का आगाज होता है हिमानी हर्बल टी से, जिससे मिले रिफ्रेशिंग फील विद नेचुरल प्रोटेक्शन, हील विद नेचर।
Well, we certainly had plenty of action in the first half of this game. There's a bit of interaction between the batsmen that were not out at the end, and Afridi was looking a little bit dark. Actually, he wasn't happy with his fielders at all. Andre Russell just pumped that ball all over the place, and the total was quite extraordinary. 96 it was for the loss of 1. It's the highest total in a 5 of 19 balls, 9 4s and 3 6s. And here's a look at some of the highlights. Russell Allen's alongside me. What about this, Russ?
I don't know. You asking me? Mohammad Amir, he got the ball to swing in that first delivery, and after that he changed his length, which played into Andre Russell's hands, and there was no looking back from there. Tikshila De Silva hold out. Milinda Sirivardhana, great catch running along the boundary line. And that was that. Andre Russell had found his range, and there was no stopping him after that. Full toss, short, length, wide. It just became carnage out there, and clumsy were the Gladiators. They just didn't help themselves with the lengths and lines, neither in the field. Now this little cameo of 21 from Laurie Evans will waken him up as well, and that will serve the Colombo Kings in the games to come. All they need is some runs behind them, and the confidence comes back in. Half century, Andre Russell. Still kept going, there was no stopping him. Outfield didn't matter because he was hitting him over that. 65 of 19.
It was the 5th fastest T20 50 as well for Andre Russell, and that's what they need. 97 for 30. Of course, they lost yesterday to the Galle Gladiators, so they've got to get up and make sure they win today. But there's no doubt the Kings will be quite happy at this stage.
हिमानी कोकोनट ऑयल, जिसके रोजाना इस्तेमाल से मिले बालों को अंदर से मजबूती और रहे स्ट्रॉन्ग, मेरी फैमिली का खास सीक्रेट।
Well, that was absolute carnage out there. Andre Russell, fantastic. It makes you think, why don't you just chuck him at the top of the order in 2020 cricket? He could almost get a double 100 in that. But he was superb. Still at the crease, hit through the line, played incredibly powerful cricket shots. He was amazing. And I thought Laurie Evans, as you said, Russ, found his range towards the back end as well.
Mohammad Amir had a massive responsibility when Andre Russell came out there. The ball did swing. He needed to use that length, getting it up there and look for that wicket.
Yeah, that's right. The ball did swing the first ball, but he then went a little bit fuller. I think he might have got a little bit of greedy with his balls, and then after that, it didn't swing at all.
Righto, it was quite extraordinary. He faced every delivery to Andre Russell in that first over, and he went for 26 runs in the first over, so that was magnificent stuff from Russell. And Zazai is a very fine player. Look at that strike rate, 147. He's someone that needs to fire right at the top for the Galle Gladiators. But Andre Russell starting proceedings, and then it was a situation, I think, of course, where it was just all full steam ahead. 0.6, fairly experienced with 84 games. Have to go from ball 1. Simple as that.
Zazai has a higher score of 162 in T20 cricket. How do you do that?
He's very dangerous. He hits the ball extremely hard.
O'Donnell. Slow ball first up. Bit of a misfield, bit of a knock on. Will they come back for the second? Yes, they do. They're going to have to run back, double up with everything.
Look, we got to highlight that it's not easy. It was pretty wet when the game did start. So they're slipping around the ball, sliding or skidding off the outfield, which makes it very difficult to judge. So there are challenges for the fielders. 2 in the deep square leg and a long on. Was in good touch yesterday. Different ball game here today, though.
With a swing, and he went with the swing. Couple of bounces, and that's gone for 4.
Hatazulu Zaza has done extremely well at the top of the order for Afghanistan. He certainly gets him going. Oh, that was actually Danushka Gunatilaka. little bit of width. He hits extremely well over extra cover. We highlighted that fact in the first game.
You can't give width with this field. Udana, known for his change of pace, various different slow balls. Generally execute them with great control.
Yeah, he has got a few variations. He's got one at the back of the hand as well, which is extremely difficult to bowl.
Yeah, he's got... Isuru Udana's got so many different slower balls. His speed variation is amazing. That's what makes him the bowler he is. The key to that last ball was his line as well. But his variation on wickets like this, particularly on flat wickets, is his biggest asset.
So halfway through the first over, 8 on the board at this stage. No doubt they need a boundary or two to finish this over. Hit that well enough. That's gone for 6. That's a very good shot. Beautifully played.
They are in the hunt. 4 balls, 14. Required rate around 19. No dots. Length. Or just short of a length. This pitch. Just sitting up to be spanked. Huh?
No margin for error whatsoever. And the key there, Russ, as you said, the length. Length allowed Danushka to get underneath that and hit it over mid-wicket.
And now the ball will be wet. The seam gets wet means that's a challenge for Udana. We did just mention that his strength is change of pace. So that means he needs a seam that's dry, which he can grip better to control.
Afridi's got the pads on. He's going to be key. Angelo Matthews is providing quite a bit of support for this last, the last couple of balls actually of this over. Change in the field as well to protect that boundary at long on. Man inside the circle, fine leg, and that's beautifully played. That's clever. That's really clever.
That's a really good shot. One of Danushka's strengths. He, as we highlighted the other day, he thrives on width, and he does play these little dinks and plays them very, very well.
But from Udana's point of view, nothing wrong with it. That's what you want. But the skills of the batsman these days, the ability to read the game, so hard for bowlers.
Bit of context, 26 runs scored off the first over by Andre Russell. 18 of this one so far, with 1 ball remaining. It's going to be called a wide, I think it is. It is. A little bit of swing away as well.
So in a certain, for argument's sake, if you bowl it full and they dink you for 4, you're better off than bowling short and getting hit for 6 because you're saving your team 2 runs. I guess that's the way the bowlers need to look at it.
Yeah, and again, and we have a look at Isuru Udana's speed variations there. As you always say to the bowlers, you just want them to execute. You want them to bowl their best ball. And if a batsman hits you off your best ball, there's nothing you can do. So you don't want him to be at the back of his run up now, being tentative and not know what he's going to do.
His line has got to be spot on here with third man inside the circle and also fine leg. What do we got now? A bit more protection at long, a wide, long on. In fact, a deep straight to mid-wicket has gone into place.
Slower balls, that's what you can try with this field.
Yep. There's a man at long on as well. Now there's a bit of swing, but it's gone past the inside edge. That's a very good finish to that over. 19 for none.
WB by Himani Immune Oil. मेरा chest रहे clear और germs free. Immune Oil. Heal with nature.
Afridi will come in. He'll jump up that batting lineup and will come in next to the fall of the first wicket. So 1 over gone, that's fine. 19. Obviously, it's a tall ask from here. 78 from 24 balls. They're desperate and they've got to win games. They can do special things, and that's what the Galle Gladiators have got to do. Chimera now. Dragging on the onside, just the single.
Dushmanto Chimera, he can bowl with some express pace. I hope he backs himself here, because if he does, he'll be a difficult customer in these conditions.
It's the best thing, I think, also to Zai to get the 1 and get Gunnar Tilaka back on strike. 18 off 6 balls at this stage. Clever again. He's got enough on it. Something they practice a lot these days. Is he going to come back for the second? Yes, he can do that quite comfortably.
He bowled a good ball to finish the over. Isurudana. He fluffed the batsman, as Darren Ganga would say. But between the overs, just instructions barking out to everyone of the point we were talking about, that it's difficult to feel with the water. It's coming at different paces. Just make sure you stop the ball. So that's experience for you, just passing on the information.
It's going to be bowled again. That's a wide.
And that's what you'd expect from your senior players. That little bit of extra edge you've learned from playing so much of cricket, and it makes a difference.
It makes a massive difference, and you know, you can't go down to the local supermarket and buy experience. You get experience by playing, and Isurudana has played and done well all around the world. Just on that one, I don't mind him bowling that bouncer. That just plays with the batsman's footwork now.
Straight, oh, direct hit would have been out.
Shamira thought about it, bailed out. It didn't come back at him as quickly as he thought. Thought about sticking that hand out for the return catch.
Would have been out by a long distance had there been any connection with those stumps at the bowler's end.
But just on that, he bowled the bouncer, he gave away the wide, and you don't mind that as a coach, because it does play with the batsman's footwork, and we didn't see the transferal of weight in that shot from Danushka. His weight was slightly back.
Zai on strike now. Oh, that's solid. That's a beautiful shot. Strong wrists. Punt that away for a boundary. That's a mile 11 circle champion shot.
It's not easy to hit that length like that. The fuller you are, it's hard to get underneath it. Shorthand jab. Geez, we're seeing some outstanding shots today. It's just making us feel, what's happening here? Deep mid-wicket and a deep square leg. 2 over power play in this 5 over game.
I really like the way that Angelo Matthews is spending so much time chatting to his bowlers. Calm head, that's what you need in these sort of situations. Beautifully bowled. That is a perfect length. You cannot do much with that at all unless you happen to be batting deep in your crease. Your name's Andre Russell.
He's bowled a good over here so far. Touch wood, Dushmanto Chimera. Pretty impressive. He's known what he's wanted to do. Hazy, you made the point about Angelo Matthews spending a lot of time with him. He's got plans and he's executing it. The key is, if at the back end of his run-up, if he knows what he wants to do, commit to that decision.
Dry the ball, and he's working the seam. You want a dry seam.
Last ball, the second over. Oh, that's whipped away. Whipped away for 6 runs. That is a perfect way to finish over number 2. So 16 runs off that over, 35 for no loss. Overs 1 and 2 for the Colombo Kings were the same. 26 off the first, 26 off the second as well. So 52 for 1 it was after 2 overs. And even though that last one was good, 35 for none at this stage, they're still well behind the 8 ball. Priyanjan now into the attack. Just a half a shot, really.
Look at where he was. Look at where Chandimal was. The wicketkeeper generally follows the line of the ball. And he was the only one who appealed.
Interesting choices, Ashan Priyanjan coming on now. When you got Qais Ahmed also in your attack. The only way I can think of that, and the only reasoning sense it makes, is simply because there's 2 right-handers there. Danushka Gunatilaka, very, very good. 6 off the last ball. You want Dushmanta Chimera to exit and close his over.
Oh, he's tried to hit that one a long way, but he's played and missed. If you have downloaded the app that we've been talking about, the My 11 Circle app, and you've picked your team and you've got some key players involved in the game today, I'll tell you what, you would have been extremely busy so far. You would have had Andre Russell, I'm sure about that. We've been playing with some champions with that app. But no doubt throughout this tournament, we're having a lot of fun with that. That's leg side, hit the pad. Couple of dot balls.
The move paying off. Left-handers, you'd like to bring the off spinner, but it's not that you're expecting this pitch to turn or get it to grip. So it's basically going to go on with the arm. He's just cramping them with change of pace.
Halfway through the third over, 1 run only. They've got to be big boundaries now. That is also just a little trot. That's all it is for 1. So 2 runs off 4 balls in this over.
He's bowled it well around the wicket into the pads, just skidded on, not giving them any room to free their arms. Been a good over so far.
60 required off 14 balls. Goodness me. Oh, it's another dot ball. Again, into the pads, cramping him up.
Again, our timer is wasting time.
And he's picked up a wicket. That is an extraordinary over. That is magnificent stuff. It has just conceded 2 runs and also has picked up a wicket.
One of those was a leg by. And in a game where everyone's been scoring at 20 or maybe even 25 and over, how do you bowl an over for a single?
हिमानी कोकोनट ऑयल, जिसके रोजाना इस्तेमाल से मिले बालों को अंदर से मजबूती और रहे स्ट्रॉन्ग, मेरी फैमिली का खास सीक्रेट।
37 for 1.
There's 12 balls left in this match, and looking at that equation, I think you can do the maths. It is going to be extremely difficult. Yes, there's 9 wickets in hand, but goodness me, there's going to be some serious hitting required here. Afridi has just arrived. That is just a little bit of hope, I guess, for the Galle Gladiators.
He's at the non-strikers and 5 runs a ball required. The wicket. Tikshila de Silva takes it easy when everyone's been struggling to hold on to that ball.
Yeah, it was a unbelievably good over as well by Prihanjan. He got his lines right, he round the wicket into the pads, no room for them to free their arms, nothing to get under, and he got his just rewards for the pressure he built at the back end of the innings.
Some serious experience there. 321 games at that strike rate, 154 throughout his career.
2 overs remaining, needing 60. Yesterday, in a certain passage of playing 2 overs, Afridi scored about 42, if I remember right. Still short. Oh, they've gone to sleep. The Gladiators, it's 11:52 p.m. Just looks a bit like that. Or are they in lockdown, Hazy?
All that for a dot ball. There's protection out there. They'll try and no, they won't. They want Afridi on strike. They want as much of Afridi on strike as possible, I think, for the rest of this game.
Yep, it's their only hope, and they've gone back to the experience, the massive experience again of Isuryadana and the master of the change of pace.
10 balls remaining, 10 sixes needed. Well, if anyone's going to be doing it,
the only man who can, Shahid Boom Boom Afridi.
Just again, have a look at Adana here. He knows exactly what he wants to do to Afridi. He's got a strategy. He's just making sure all the guys are in exactly the right spot. He knows exactly what the plan is. He's thought about it. Wide outside the line of off stump, and it is called a wide in the end.
Afridi called it, and he got it.
Yeah, I think he called that based on his delivery that was called wide in the last over. Let's have a look. Change of pace. Yeah, probably umpires probably just got that right, I think.
Yes, too harsh. Oh, it was I who was harsh. Yes.
So again, there's going to be no pace. There's no men back at third man or fine leg. Nice and full, squeezing it down through the third man region, and that's gone for 4. That's a My 11 circle champion shot. And he wants a new bat. Andre Russell did earlier. Afridi now wants a new bat as well.
But very well bowled. Still gone for 4. But that's the nature of the game. As a bowler, as a player, you have to understand that, soak it up, and focus on what's next.
Yeah, and he set his field as well. We've seen a deep mid wicket, deep long on, deep long off, deep extra cover, and deep cover point. It tells you what he's going to bowl. He's going to go slow. He's going to vary his pace. And as long as he executes, if he goes for 4, it's unlucky.
If he executes it properly, he'll hit this field. If he misses, the field's not going to matter. Because that's how powerful these players are these days. It's going to go over.
Can he finish strong with 3 sixes and 3 balls? Obviously not. That's a dot ball.
I'm very surprised with that. He got some shape on it. This ball should be wet. A little bit of hoop back into Afridi. But it was more the length that defeated him.
Yeah, again, using all his experience. He's head and shoulders above anybody else here tonight. There we go. A little bit of shape back. You're right, Russ. A little bit of shape. A very good seam. He presented that seam very, very well.
A wet ball, that happening? Wow.
Slice that away. Has it got through? Yes, it has. Pick the gap.
I told you, get it right, concede 4. You're still winning because you're saving your team 2. Get the math right. I told you, get it right, concede 4. You're still winning because you're saving your team 2.
He's not happy with his boundaries, Afridi. He knows he's got to be bigger than that. They've got to go over for 6s. That's their only chance. A little bit of a chat between the two a couple of balls ago. He was signaling the fact there was a bit of in-swing back towards him, and then at the end of that delivery, again, a little bit of interaction. Nothing wrong with that. 10 off the over, 1 ball remaining. And that's another boundary. So 14 off that over. He's not happy, Afridi. He's got a bit grumpy tonight. Wasn't happy with their fielding.
हिमानी का हनी है सेहत के लिए स्पेशल, खालिस तरीन और कुदरती, है ना मजेदार?
As well, 51 for 1. Partners for the Lanka Premier League, and we had 3 hours of rain. If 9 4s and 3 6s, that certainly was worth watching. If you happen to miss it, I'm sure you're going to catch some highlights as well. Case Ahmed now to bowl the final over. Just the single.
Game done. As you say, Mark, you might as well throw in the white towel now. Game over.
What if it rains now? It's been raining boundaries. I'm not meaning boundaries. Rains.
Yeah. Be very interesting because it won't be a game.
The thief in the night. The rain.
Bit of flight, bit of turn.
He's a very good bowler, Case Ahmed. He was particularly good with the Hobart Hurricanes in the Big Bash last year. I think he is a very fine bowler.
Is it going to be out? Yes, it is out. Case Ahmed has picked him up. We're not going to see the flip at 11:59 p.m. Going to wait a little bit looser, I think, earlier in the day before he gets a flip underway. Case Ahmed.
Very good catch running backwards. Ashan Priyanjan. That over that he bowled changed the game. 1 run, 1 wicket, takes a catch. Shahid Afridi. He's gone. Too much to do for him too. Well, Shahid Afridi, it's 52 for 2. Well, they've asked him.
और वो बच्चों की तरह ट्रीट करते हैं। तुम कर लोगे? बस तुम तो कर लोगे, तुम तो बल्कि उसे कुत्ता बेच दोगे। ले लो।
कुत्ता उधर लैंड की गया, मैंने ये तो दसो
यार ये वॉक कर रहा था नदी के किनारे अपने, तो बल्कि मालिक के साथ बेच दोगे। ले लो। और
कुत्ता उधर लैंड की गया, मैंने ये तो दसो
यार ये वॉक कुत्ता 20 साल से ऊपर बहुत कम जाता है। तो रिचर्ड नामी ये जो बंदा था ना,
मेरी उम्र से 75 साल,
वो 74 साल का था, चल फिर रहा था, तो एकदम कहता नदी में से निकला है, उसने एकदम कुत्ते को पकड़ा,
मैं मर